This presentation is going to cover applying the 3x3 writing process to business messages. And when you're writing a business message, you want to make sure that your message has a purpose and it's going to communicate the ideas, and length is not as important as getting to the point. Very important with writing. A lot of times, author David Silverman says that a lot of times students learn to overwrite, and that the educational system rewards length over clarity. You know, when an instructor tells you, okay, it has to be this amount in length, sometimes we focus on the length instead of getting our message across. So we need to focus on the purpose. We need to make sure it's concise and that we're focusing on the audience. So we're going to talk about a 3x3 writing process. So when you're writing, think of it as 3 phases. You have pre-writing, then the drafting phase, and the revising phase. So here are those phases. And as you're writing, I want you to ask yourself these questions. So in the initial phase, you're going to have analyze. Now, keep in mind these 3 aspects are the first step in your writing process. So your pre-writing phase, this is what you want to do. You want to analyze, anticipate, and adapt. So ask yourself these questions when you're in the initial phase before you're writing. Pre-writing is what we're calling that, okay? So as you're writing or developing your message, thinking about, hey, what's the purpose? What am I trying to do? Who's my audience? And how am I going to get feedback from my audience to make sure they're getting the message clear? So again, that is your pre-writing phase. Then you're going into the second part, which is your drafting. So now you need to research, get your information, organize your information, and then write your draft. Now, when you're writing your draft, and when I help my son write papers, I always tell him, okay, get it on paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't spend a lot of time as far as trying to make it perfect. We just want to get it on paper. Then we're going to pick it apart. That's where you're going to spend the most time. And that's the last part. And so we're going to start with pre-writing, then drafting, and then revising. And this is where you're going to spend your time. You're going to take out words that are confusing or wordiness. You're going to eliminate it. You're going to make it concise. You're going to look for errors. Pick it apart. Find all the errors you can find. And it makes it easier once you get it on paper to kind of mold it to what you need it to be. And then once you have it edited and proofread, check the tone. And do I sound preachy? Do I sound negative? I want this to be positive, and I want to keep my receiver's attention. I want to keep my audience's attention. Now, like I said, that really revising is where you're going to spend the majority of your time, or half your time. Okay, you're going to do your pre-writing, gather your information in your drafting, get it on paper, and then, like I like to say, pick it apart at the end. Now, you don't have to follow this exactly, but you do need, this can be a continuous process. Like, you can get it on paper and then realize that you need more information, so I need to go back and dig and do a little more research. But this is what we call the 3x3 writing the writing process. Let me know if you have any questions about this.